Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden within the mundane objects that fill your kitchen drawers? What whispers of forgotten recipes and hurried meals echo from the worn handles of your spatulas and whisks? What silent stories do your measuring cups hold, filled and emptied countless times over the years? Tonight we won't be unraveling any culinary conspiracies or unearthing hidden kitchen histories. Instead, we will find our peace in the slow, methodical, almost hypnotic processes behind the creation of those very everyday kitchen products that make our lives just a little bit easier. From the molding of a simple plastic spatula to the forging of a sturdy chef's knife, we'll explore the surprisingly intricate journeys these humble tools undertake before arriving in our home. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to Snooze Stories for more calming content designed to help you drift off to sleep. Now dim the lights, let the gentle hum of the refrigerator become your white noise, and allow your mind to wander into the surprisingly fascinating world of kitchen product manufacturing. Tonight, we begin our journey with the humble yet essential wooden spoon, kitchen product manufacturing. Tonight, we begin our journey not with the wooden spoon, as previously mentioned, but with something even more fundamental, something that predates even the simplest kitchen tool. We begin with fire. Imagine, if you will, a world without the comforting warmth of a stove, the gentle hum of an oven, the quick sizzle of a frying pan. A world where food was consumed raw, its textures and flavors limited by nature's own design. Now let your mind drift back, far back, to the time before kitchens existed, to a time when the very concept of cooking was a revolutionary spark waiting to ignite. Our ancestors, huddled against the chill of an evening long ago, discovered the transformative power of fire. It was a slow, gradual process, this taming of the flame. Perhaps a lightning strike, a volcanic eruption, or the friction of dry branches rustling in the wind first revealed this potent force. The flickering flames, at first a source of fear and awe, became a beacon of warmth and protection. And slowly, ever so slowly, they discovered its potential to alter the very nature of their sustenance. Imagine the first accidental drop of a piece of fruit into the embers, the sizzle and pop as its flesh transformed, the tantalizing aroma that filled the air. This, my friends, was the dawn of cooking. The earliest hearths were rudimentary affairs, simple depressions in the earth, perhaps lined with stones to contain the flames. Picture the reddish-brown earth, scorched and blackened by repeated fires, the stones cracked and discolored from the intense heat. These simple hearths were the heart of early human communities, gathering places where stories were shared, bonds were forged, and the day's bounty was prepared. The process of building and maintaining a fire was a slow, deliberate ritual. The careful gathering of dry twigs and branches, the meticulous arrangement of kindling, the gentle coaxing of the first sparks into a fledgling flame. The rhythmic striking of flint against iron, a slow, steady, scraping sound echoing through the stillness. The soft whoosh as the tinder catches, a delicate orange glow emerging from the darkness, and then the gradual feeding of larger pieces of wood, the flames growing stronger, brighter, casting flickering shadows that danced on the surrounding foliage. Early cooking tools were simple and practical. Sharpened sticks held over the flames served as skewers for roasting meat. Flat stones heated in the fire became makeshift griddles for cooking small pieces of food. Imagine the subtle crackling of the fire, the hiss of the fat dripping from the meat onto the hot embers, the faint aroma of smoke mingling with the scent of roasting flesh. The transition from raw to cooked food was a profound one. It made food safer to eat, easier to digest, and unlocked a whole new world of flavors and textures. Tough roots and tubers, once difficult to chew, became soft and palatable after being roasted in the embers. The tough fibers of meat, softened by the heat, released their rich, savory juices. The act of cooking itself became a communal activity. Families and groups gathered around the fire, sharing the warmth and the food. The firelight illuminated their faces, casting a warm, flickering glow. The shared experience of preparing and consuming a meal together strengthened social bonds and fostered a sense of community. As the sun set and the darkness deepened, the The fire became the central focus, a source of light, warmth, and nourishment. The crackling flames, the glowing embers, the shared stories whispered in the firelight. These were the simple comforts that defined early human life. The evolution of the hearth continued, slowly but surely. Deeper pits were dug, more elaborate stone linings were constructed, and eventually structures were built around the hearths, creating the first rudimentary kitchens. Imagine the smooth, worn stones of an ancient hearth, blackened by countless fires. The packed earth floor around it, imprinted with the footprints of generations. These early kitchens were more than just places to cook. They were the heart of the home, the center of family life, the place where traditions were born and passed down through the generations. Close your eyes now and picture that flickering flame. Feel the warmth on your face. Smell the wood smoke in the air. Let the slow, rhythmic crackling of the fire lull you into a state of deep relaxation. Breathe in the scent of the earth, the smoke, the roasting food. Let the warmth of the fire seep into your bones, chasing away the chill of the night. Let your mind wander back to those earliest days, to the time when fire was a new discovery, a transformative force that changed the course of human history. Let the slow, steady rhythm of your breath synchronize with the gentle rise and fall of the flames. And as you drift off to sleep, imagine yourself gathered around that ancient hearth, sharing stories and food with your ancestors, bathed in the warm glow of the firelight. And as the fire burned, so too did the human desire for better ways to harness its power. The limitations of stone and wood became apparent. Imagine the frustration of a hot stone cracking under the heat, spilling precious food into the embers. The realization that something more durable, more malleable was needed slowly dawned. This, my friends, led to the discovery of clay. Imagine the cool, damp earth between your fingers, its pliable nature, its ability to be shaped and molded. The first clay vessels were likely accidental creations. Perhaps a lump of clay, inadvertently left near the fire, hardened and retained its shape. This simple observation sparked a revolution in cooking. The process of creating a clay pot was a slow, methodical one. First, the clay had to be gathered, often from riverbeds or other damp areas. Picture the slow, deliberate digging, the cool, moist clay clinging to the fingers. Then, the clay was meticulously cleaned, small stones and debris painstakingly removed. Imagine the repetitive motion of picking out tiny pebbles, the slow, steady pressure of fingers kneading the clay, smoothing away imperfection. The clean clay was then mixed with water to create a workable consistency, a thick, malleable paste. Feel the cool, slick texture of the wet clay, the way it yields to pressure, the way it takes on new forms. The shaping of the pot was a delicate art, a slow, deliberate process. Imagine the gentle pressure of fingers against the yielding clay, slowly coaxing it into the desired shape. Coil by coil, the pot grew, each layer carefully smoothed and joined to the one below. The rhythmic movements of the potter's hands, a slow, hypnotic dance, transforming a lump of clay into a functional vessel. Once shaped, the pots were left to dry in the sun, hardening slowly under the warmth of its rays. Picture the sun-baked clay, gradually changing color from dark brown to a lighter, warmer hue. The final stage was firing, a transformative process that hardened the clay, making it durable and resistant to heat. Imagine the glowing embers of the fire, the intense heat radiating outwards, baking the clay, transforming it from a fragile material into a sturdy vessel. The advent of pottery revolutionized cooking. Food could now be boiled, stewed, and simmered, opening up a whole new world of culinary possibilities. Imagine the gentle bubbling of a stew in a clay pot, the rich aroma of cooked meat and vegetables filling the air. The clay pots also allowed for better control over the cooking process. The thick walls of the pot retained heat, allowing food to cook more evenly and slowly. As the use of clay flourished, so too did the exploration of other materials. The discovery of copper marked another significant leap forward in the evolution of kitchen tools. Copper, with its malleability and ability to conduct heat, proved to be an ideal material for cooking utensils. Imagine the reddish-gold gleam of raw copper, its smooth, cool surface. The process of working with copper was far more complex than working with clay. Copper ore had to be mined, then smelted in intensely hot fires to extract the pure metal. Imagine the roaring flames at the furnace, the intense heat melting the ore, the molten copper glowing like liquid fire. The molten copper was then poured into molds, slowly cooling and solidifying into the desired shapes. Picture the glowing metal, slowly losing its fiery brilliance, transforming into solid forms. Hammers and anvils were used to further shape and refine the copper, a slow, laborious process involving repetitive striking and shaping. Hear the rhythmic clang of hammer against metal, the slow, steady shaping of the copper into knives, spoons, and other utensils. The first copper pots and pans were a significant improvement over clay vessels. They heated more quickly and evenly and were more durable, less prone to cracking or breaking. Imagine the quick sizzle of food in a copper pan, the even browning, the efficient transfer of heat. The introduction of copper tools and vessels marked a significant advancement in food preparation techniques. Chopping, slicing, and stirring became easier and more efficient with the use of copper knives and spoons. The preparation of ingredients became a more refined process, a slow, deliberate ritual. Picture the careful slicing of vegetables with a copper knife, the steady stirring of a stew with a copper spoon. With the advent of pottery and copper, the kitchen began to take shape. The simple hearth evolved, becoming a more organized and efficient workspace. Imagine the designated areas for storing clay pots and copper utensils, the arrangement of tools and ingredients around the fire. The kitchen, once a simple fire pit, was slowly transforming into the heart of the home, a place where culinary creativity could flourish. The slow, steady rhythm of food preparation, the gentle clanging of copper utensils, the soft bubbling of stews in clay pots, these sounds became the soundtrack of daily life. And as the day drew to a close and the fire burned low, the kitchen became a place of warmth and comfort, a place where families gathered to share the fruits of their labor, the bounty of the earth, transformed by the magic of fire, clay, and copper. Let your mind wander back to this ancient kitchen. Feel the warmth of the fire. Hear the gentle sounds of food being prepared. Breathe in the aroma of cooked food, the scent of wood smoke, the earthy smell of clay. Let these sensations lull you into a state of deep relaxation, a peaceful slumber. The preparation of ingredients, a slow, deliberate ritual. But before the refined slicing and dicing, before the careful measuring and mixing, there was a more fundamental process, the grinding and pounding, the reducing of whole ingredients into smaller, more manageable pieces, into powders and pastes. Imagine the earliest humans, gathering seeds and nuts, roots and berries. These raw ingredients, though nourishing, often required processing to make them more palatable, more digestible. And so, the need arose for tools that could crush, grind, and pulverize. Enter the mortar and pestle, one of humanity's oldest kitchen tools. Imagine a smooth, heavy stone, perhaps found at the edge of a riverbed, its surface worn smooth by the relentless flow of water. This became the mortar, the vessel for grinding. And then a smaller handheld stone, rounded and comfortable to grip, became the pestle, the tool for pounding. Picture the rhythmic motion, the up and down movement of the pestle against the mortar, a slow, steady pulse echoing through the prehistoric landscape. Seeds and nuts, crushed and ground into coarse meals, roots and berries, pounded into pulps. This simple act, this rhythmic grinding and pounding, was a transformative process, releasing flavors, unlocking nutrients. Imagine the earthy aroma of crushed nuts, the sweet scent of pulverized berries filling the air. The materials used for mortars and pestles varied depending on what was available. Stone, of course, was a common choice, its hardness and durability ideal for the task. Imagine the cool, smooth surface of a granite mortar, the rough texture of a basalt pestle. In some regions, wood was used. Picture the warm, grainy texture of a wooden mortar, the smooth, polished surface of a wooden pestle, worn smooth by countless hours of use. And in other cultures, clay became the material of choice. Imagine the soft, porous texture of a clay mortar, its earthy scent mingling with the aromas of the ground ingredients. The mortar and pestle wasn't just a tool for processing food, it was a focal point of daily life, Imagine the women of a village gathered around a communal mortar, sharing stories, exchanging news, while their hands rhythmically pounded and ground. The slow, steady rhythm of the pestle, a constant, comforting presence, a soundtrack to daily life. As civilizations developed, so too did the mortar and pestle. The simple, handheld stones evolved into more sophisticated tools. Larger mortars, carved from solid rock, became permanent fixtures in kitchens. Imagine the imposing presence of a large stone mortar, a testament to its importance in the household. Pestles became longer, heavier, providing greater leverage and force. Picture the strong arms of a miller, rhythmically lifting and lowering a heavy pestle, grinding grain into flour. The sound of the grinding, a low, steady drone, filling the air. The development of agriculture led to a greater need for grinding tools. Grain, the staple food of many cultures, required processing before it could be consumed, and so grinding stones emerged. Imagine two large, flat stones, one placed on top of the other. The upper stone, called the runner stone, was moved back and forth over the lower stone, the bed stone, crushing and grinding the grain between them. Picture the slow, deliberate movement of the runner stone, the rhythmic scraping sound as it moved across the bed stone. This simple mechanism, powered by human muscle, was the precursor to the mill. The evolution of grinding tools continued. The saddle quern, a curved stone that fit over a lower stone, allowed for more efficient grinding. Imagine the curved surface of the saddle quern, fitting snugly over the lower stone. The back and forth motion of the grinder, a slow, steady rhythm. The rotary quern, a circular stone rotated against a lower stone, further increased efficiency. Picture the circular motion of the rotary quern, the steady grinding sound as it rotated against the lower stone. The mortar and pestle, the grinding stones, these simple tools played a vital role in the evolution of the kitchen. They allowed for the processing of ingredients in new and innovative ways, expanding the culinary possibilities for our ancestors. They represent the ingenuity and adaptability of humans, their ability to create tools that transform the way they lived and ate. Imagine the satisfaction of grinding your own flour, the connection to the food, the appreciation for the process, the slow rhythmic motions of grinding and pounding, the steady drone of the grinding stones. These sounds, once the soundtrack of daily life, now echo through the corridors of time, a reminder of our culinary heritage. Let these images, these sounds lull you into a state of deep relaxation, a peaceful slumber. Let the slow, steady rhythm of the pestle, the gentle scraping of the grinding stones, carry you away to a place of quiet tranquility, a place of restful sleep. And from the rhythmic grinding and pounding, from the slow, deliberate processing of ingredients, emerged a new need. The need to control heat, the need to transform raw ingredients into something more, something cooked, something different. And so, the oven began its long, slow evolution. Imagine, if you will, the earliest ovens, simple pits dug into the earth. Picture the loose, dark soil, the uneven sides of the pit, a rudimentary container for heat, a fire built at the bottom, its flames licking the earth, its heat radiating upwards. Food, wrapped in leaves or placed directly on the hot embers, slowly cooking, transforming. Imagine the smoky aroma, the earthy scent of the pit mingling with the smell of roasting meat or baking roots. These earth ovens, simple as they were, represented a significant leap forward. They offered a degree of control over the cooking process, a way to harness the power of fire. Think now of the slow, gradual improvements, the refinements made over generations. Stones lining the pit, retaining heat more effectively, creating a more consistent cooking environment. Picture the rough, uneven stones fitting together like a puzzle, creating a more defined cooking space. Clay, that malleable material molded and shaped into domed structures, further improving heat retention. Imagine the smooth, curved surface of a clay oven, its earthy color blending with the surrounding landscape. These clay ovens, often built partially underground, provided a more stable and controlled environment for cooking. The fuel for these early ovens, what provided the life-giving heat, varied depending on the region. Wood, of course, was a common choice. Picture the crackling flames, the glowing embers, the smoky aroma of burning wood filling the air. Dried grasses, readily available in many areas, provided a quick, hot fire. Imagine the dry, brittle stalks, igniting easily, their flames dancing and flickering. Animal dung, a readily available resource, especially in pastoral communities, offered a slow, steady burn. Imagine the dry, crumbly dung smoldering slowly, releasing a steady stream of heat. Each fuel imparted its own unique flavor to the food, a subtle reminder of the source of the heat. The advent of the oven revolutionized cooking. Baking, once limited to simple flatbreads cooked on hot stones, became a more sophisticated art. Imagine the soft, doughy texture of bread, slowly rising in the warmth of the oven, transforming into a golden brown loaf. Roasting, previously achieved by placing meat directly over an open fire, became a more controlled process. Picture the succulent meat slowly browning in the oven, its juices sealed in, its flavors intensifying. The oven allowed for slower, gentler cooking, resulting in more tender and flavorful food. Consider the construction of a traditional wood-fired oven, a process passed down through generations. The careful selection of materials, the precise placement of each brick, the methodical layering of clay and sand, a ritualistic process, a testament to the importance of the oven. Visualize the foundation, a solid base of stones and earth providing stability. Picture the bricks, carefully laid in a circular pattern forming the walls of the oven. Imagine the dome, slowly taking shape, brick by brick, creating the enclosed cooking chamber. The layer of clay and sand applied over the bricks, insulating the oven, retaining the precious heat. The chimney, a simple opening at the top allowing smoke to escape, controlling the airflow. The firing of the oven, a slow, deliberate process, building the heat gradually. Small kindling at first, catching easily, its flames dancing and flickering. Larger pieces of wood added gradually, the fire growing stronger, the heat intensifying. Imagine the glowing embers, the intense heat radiating from the oven, the crackling and popping of the burning wood. Hours spent tending the fire, ensuring a consistent temperature, a labor of love, a dedication to the art of cooking. The oven, once hot, radiating heat for hours, allowing for multiple batches of baking, a communal resource, a focal point of the household. The evolution of the oven continued. From simple clay structures, ovens evolved into more complex designs. Brick ovens, more durable and efficient, became common in many cultures. Imagine the sturdy brick walls, the solid construction, the ability to withstand higher temperatures. Metal ovens, appearing later in history, offered greater control over temperature and cooking time. Picture the smooth metallic surface, the precise dials and gauges, the ability to regulate the heat with greater accuracy. The oven, in its various forms, has played a central role in culinary history. It has transformed the way we cook, the way we eat, the way we gather. It represents the human desire for comfort, for nourishment, for connection. The warmth of the oven, the aroma of baking bread, the gathering of family and friends around a shared meal. These are universal experiences, timeless traditions, connecting us to our ancestors, to our shared culinary heritage. Let these images, these sounds, the crackling fire, the gentle hum of the oven, lull you into a state of deep relaxation, a peaceful slumber. Let the warmth of the oven, the aroma of baking bread, carry you away to a place of quiet tranquility, a place of restful sleep. The gentle hum of the oven, a comforting sound, a lullaby of culinary creation. But what of the food that couldn't be consumed immediately? What of the bounty of the harvest, too abundant for immediate consumption? The need to preserve, to extend the life of food, to bridge the gap between seasons of plenty and times of scarcity, led to the development of various preservation techniques. Consider the sun, that life-giving orb, its warmth not only ripening crops but also preserving them. Drying, one of the oldest methods of preservation, harnessing the power of the sun, drawing moisture from food, inhibiting the growth of spoilage organisms. Imagine rows of fruits and vegetables laid out on mats, basking in the sun, slowly transforming, their colors deepening, their textures changing. Meats, thinly sliced, strung on lines, swaying gently in the breeze, drying in the warm air, becoming jerky, a concentrated source of protein. Fish, split and spread open, their silvery skin glistening in the sun, drying on racks. Preserving the bounty of the sea, herbs tied in bunches, hanging upside down, their fragrant leaves drying, their aromas intensifying, their flavors preserved for later use. This slow, deliberate process, a dance with nature, a partnership with the sun. The repetitive rhythm of laying out the food, turning it regularly, ensuring even drying, a meditative practice, a connection to the earth. Smoking, another ancient technique, adding another layer of preservation, the smoke infusing the food with flavor while also acting as a preservative. Imagine the slow, steady burn of the fire, the fragrant smoke curling upwards, enveloping the food, imparting its distinct aroma. Meats, hanging in the smokehouse, absorbing the smoky flavors, their surfaces darkening, their textures transforming. Fish, suspended above the smoking fire, their flesh taking on a smoky hue, their flavors intensifying. The smoky aroma, a comforting scent, a reminder of the process, a promise of preserved sustenance. The careful tending of the fire, maintaining the right temperature, the right amount of smoke, a skill passed down through generations, a connection to ancestral practices. Pickling, a method of preserving food in an acidic solution, creating an environment hostile to spoilage organisms. Imagine the crisp, tart taste of pickled cucumbers, the tangy flavor of pickled onions, the pungent aroma of pickled peppers. Vegetables, carefully packed in jars, submerged in a brine of vinegar, salt, and spices, their colors vibrant, their textures firm. The meticulous process of preparing the brine, the precise measurements, the careful blending of ingredients. A culinary alchemy, transforming fresh produce into preserved delicacies. The satisfying pop of the jar lid sealing, a sound of preservation, a promise of future enjoyment. Fermentation, a transformative process utilizing microorganisms to preserve food, creating unique flavors and textures. Imagine the bubbly, effervescent nature of fermented beverages, the tangy, complex flavors of fermented vegetables, the creamy texture of fermented dairy products. Cabbage, shredded and salted, packed tightly in crocks, transforming into sauerkraut. A tangy, probiotic-rich food. Cucumbers, submerged in a brine, fermenting into pickles, their flavors evolving, their textures changing. Milk, cultured with bacteria, transforming into yogurt, a creamy, tangy, easily digestible food. The subtle bubbling, the slow, steady transformation, a testament to the power of microorganisms, a reminder of the interconnectedness of life. These early methods of preservation, born out of necessity, driven by the need to survive, transformed into culinary traditions, enriching our diets, expanding our palates. The slow, deliberate processes, the repetitive tasks, the careful attention to detail, these were not merely chores, but rituals, connecting people to the earth, to the seasons, to the cycle of life and death. The knowledge of preservation, passed down through generations, a valuable inheritance, a testament to human ingenuity, a celebration of the bounty of nature. Let these images, these scents, the aroma of drying herbs, the smoky scent of preserved meats, the tangy smell of pickled vegetables, lull you into a state of deep relaxation. Let the rhythmic sounds of chopping, slicing, packing, and sealing, the gentle bubbling of fermentation, carry you away to a place of peaceful slumber, a place of restful sleep. Imagine the pantry shelves, lined with jars of preserved fruits and vegetables, a colorful display, a promise of sustenance, a testament to the human drive to preserve, to protect, to provide. The comforting knowledge that food is stored, ready for the lean times, a source of security, a symbol of abundance. Let this sense of security, this feeling of abundance, wash over you, calming your mind, soothing your soul, preparing you for a night of deep, restorative sleep. A testament to human ingenuity, a celebration of the bounty of nature. And as we move through the kitchens of time, we find ourselves standing on the precipice of a new era, the age of the industrial kitchen. The rumble of machinery begins to replace the rhythmic chopping, the whir of gears echoing the gentle bubbling of fermentation. The slow burn of the hearth fire gives way to the controlled heat of the cast iron stove. its polished surface reflecting the flickering gaslight. Imagine the hiss of the gas as it ignites, a new sound in the kitchen, a modern marvel. The steady, even heat emanating from the stovetop, a stark contrast to the fluctuating temperatures of the open fire. Pots and pans, redesigned with flat bottoms, sit securely on the burners, their contents heating uniformly, predictably. This newfound control over temperature, a revolution in cooking, allowing for greater precision, greater consistency, the clatter of pots and pans, a familiar symphony, now orchestrated by the steady rhythm of the stove's heat. The Industrial Revolution, a period of immense change, transforming not just factories and transportation, but also the heart of the home, the kitchen. Mass production, a concept born from the factories, began to influence the tools and utensils used in food preparation. Imagine identical cookie cutters stamped out by machines, their edges sharp and uniform, creating perfectly shaped treats, each one a mirror image of the last. Tin cans, mass-produced, their seams meticulously sealed, preserving food for extended periods, freeing people from the constraints of seasonal eating. The rhythmic clang of the machinery, a constant drone, producing endless rows of identical objects, a symbol of the era, a testament to the power of industry. The icebox, a precursor to the modern refrigerator, a bulky wooden cabinet insulated with sawdust and lined with tin or zinc. Ice, harvested in winter and stored in ice houses, delivered regularly to homes, placed inside the icebox, keeping perishable goods cool, extending their lifespan. The slow drip, drip, drip of melting ice, a constant reminder of the cooling process, a gentle, rhythmic sound, a lullaby of preservation. The chill air emanating from the icebox, a welcome relief in the summer heat, a promise of fresh food, a symbol of progress. And then the electric refrigerator, a marvel of engineering, a self-contained cooling system eliminating the need for ice deliveries, the hum of the motor, a new sound in the kitchen, a low, steady drone, a testament to the power of electricity, the consistent, reliable cooling, a transformative innovation revolutionizing food storage, allowing for greater variety, greater convenience. The hand-cranked meat grinder, its gears slowly turning, grinding meat into uniform pieces, a laborious but necessary task. Imagine the repetitive motion of turning the crank, the rhythmic grinding of the blades, the slow, steady transformation of chunks of meat into ground meat, ready for sausages, burgers, or meatloaf. The metallic scent of the grinder, a familiar aroma in the kitchen, a reminder of the process, a promise of a hearty meal. The stand mixer, a marvel of mechanical engineering, its powerful motor effortlessly mixing ingredients, liberating cooks from the tedious task of hand mixing. Imagine the whir of the motor, the rhythmic beat of the mixing paddles, the slow, steady transformation of individual ingredients into a smooth, homogeneous batter. The satisfying scrape of the spatula against the sides of the bowl, ensuring every last bit of batter is incorporated, a ritual of baking, a promise of delicious treats. These early appliances, while still rudimentary by today's standards, represented a significant shift in kitchen technology. The gradual transition from manual labor to mechanized processes, a defining characteristic of the industrial age, transforming not just factories and industries, but also the domestic sphere, the kitchen. The slow, repetitive actions of early machines, a mesmerizing dance of gears and levers, a testament to human ingenuity. The clatter and whir of these appliances, a new soundtrack for the kitchen, a symphony of progress. The impact of these appliances on food preparation and storage, profound and far-reaching, changing the way people cooked, ate, and lived. Let these images, these sounds, the hiss of the gas stove, the drip of melting ice, the whir of the mixer, lull you into a state of deep relaxation. Let the rhythmic clang of machinery, the steady hum of the refrigerator, carry you away to a place of peaceful slumber, a place of restful sleep. The hum of the refrigerator, a constant presence, a reassuring background noise in the modern kitchen. A far cry from the dripping icebox, this sleek, enamel-coated sentinel stands guard against spoilage, its interior a climate-controlled sanctuary for perishable goods. Imagine the soft whir of the compressor, a gentle, rhythmic pulse, maintaining a constant temperature, a silent promise of freshness, the cool air circulating within, a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the kitchen, a haven for fruits, vegetables, and other delicacies. The electric oven, a marvel of controlled heat, replacing the unpredictable flames of the wood-burning stove. Imagine the glowing orange coils, radiating a steady, even heat, baking cakes to golden perfection, roasting meat to succulent tenderness. The click of the timer, a precise, mechanical sound, marking the passage of time, signaling the completion of the cooking process. The gentle ding, a call to the table, a promise of a warm, satisfying meal. The microwave oven, a revolutionary appliance, harnessing the power of electromagnetic waves to cook food at unprecedented speeds. Imagine the hum of the magnetron, a unique, high-pitched sound generating invisible waves that penetrate food, exciting its molecules, causing them to vibrate, generating heat. The turntable slowly rotating, ensuring even cooking. A mesmerizing circular motion. The beep of the timer, a sharp, insistent sound announcing the completion of the cooking process, a testament to the speed and efficiency of this modern marvel. The blender, a whirling vortex of stainless steel blades, pulverizing fruits, vegetables, and ice into smooth, creamy concoctions. Imagine the high-pitched whine of the motor, increasing in intensity as the blades spin faster and faster. The rhythmic churning, a hypnotic sound, transforming solid ingredients into liquid refreshment. The satisfying glug of the finished smoothie, a cool, refreshing reward, a testament to the power of this versatile appliance. The food processor, a multi-taking marvel, slicing, dicing, chopping, and shredding with precision and speed. Imagine the rhythmic whir of the motor, the sharp staccato chop of the blades, transforming whole vegetables into perfectly uniform pieces. The satisfying click of the lid locking into place, a secure, reassuring sound. The ease and efficiency of this appliance, a boon to busy cooks, a testament to the ingenuity of modern kitchen design. The electric kettle, a sleek, streamlined appliance heating water to a boil in a matter of minutes. Imagine the soft click of the switch activating the heating element, the gentle gurgle of the water as it heats, gradually increasing in intensity until it reaches a rolling boil. The automatic shutoff, a safety feature, a silent guardian against overheating. The steaming cup of tea or coffee, a comforting ritual, a welcome start to the day. The toaster, a simple yet ingenious appliance, browning bread to golden perfection with the application of controlled heat. Imagine the glowing red coils, radiating warmth, toasting the bread to a crisp, crunchy texture. The satisfying pop of the toast as it emerges from the slots, a cheerful sound, a promise of a simple, satisfying breakfast. The aroma of toasted bread, a comforting, familiar scent filling the kitchen with warmth and anticipation. The dishwasher, a tireless worker, washing and drying dishes with methodical precision. Imagine the rhythmic whoosh of water jets, spraying dishes clean, removing every trace of food residue. The gentle hum of the drying cycle, circulating warm air, leaving dishes sparkling and dry. The clatter of dishes being loaded and unloaded. A familiar kitchen symphony, now orchestrated by the efficient rhythm of the machine. These modern appliances, with their sleek designs and automated functions, represent a culmination of centuries of kitchen evolution. The emphasis on speed, convenience, and precision, a hallmark of the modern age, transforming the kitchen into a streamlined, efficient workspace. The rhythmic hum of these appliances, a constant background noise, a testament to the power of technology, a lullaby of modern living. Let the gentle whir of the refrigerator, the rhythmic hum of the microwave, the steady drone of the dishwasher lull you into a state of deep relaxation. Let the sounds of the modern kitchen, a symphony of convenience and innovation, carry you away to a place of peaceful slumber, a place of restful sleep. Imagine the soft glow of the oven light, the gentle whir of the blender, the quiet click of the toaster, all merging into a soothing, hypnotic rhythm. Allow these sounds to wash over you, calming your mind, relaxing your body, preparing you for a night of deep, restorative sleep. Drift away now into the quiet hum of the modern kitchen, and let the gentle sounds of progress carry you into a world of dreams.